And I'm back. It's your boy Interior Chambers, your master of monologue. I'm back for another episode of Let's Discuss. Man, it's been a while, man. I ain't got a little lazy, man. You know what I'm saying? It's good to have y'all back in here. It's good to have another show, man. Once again, it's your boy Interior Chambers, your master of monologue. Back for another episode of Let's Discuss. Season 2, episode 3. Man, it's just the start. I appreciate it. Let's go and jump on into it. By no means is this show intended to bash anyone's race, creed, or color, or sexual orientation. This show is strictly to provoke thought on a specific topic for the sole purpose of education and entertainment. This is by no means a representation of my employer or my family. These are my opinions, and they won't change. Why? Because they mine, dog. You got yours, and I got mine. So here we go. I ain't been in here in a while, y'all, so kind of work with me, man. I got to get the feel back, you know. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So today's is our friendships between co-parents, non-existent. Is it normal for a woman to not want to speak to her or at least be cordial with her children's father or vice versa? So, I actually didn't think of this topic. This is Cassie Williams topic, but I can relate to this, so this is gonna be easy for me. So I need everybody on this one to say as much as you like on this one. We're gonna have a little interaction because it's been so long. So like I said, get back into the flow of things. But this is gonna be nice. This is gonna be nice. Once I can get these comments up out here. How y'all been though, man? How y'all been? You know, it's your boy, your master, my law. Shout out to the co-host. I think she had surgery. She's doing well. She's over there recovering. We miss you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Looking like a light-skinned Pentecostal preacher. Really? she said it looks like a light-skinned Pentecostal preacher. Okay. Whatever that looks like, I guess that looks like me. You know what I'm saying? That let y'all know I'm still fine without the beard. Look at the skin. Look at the skin. You know what I'm saying? So I can do either way, but you know, I like the beard. I do this every year because, you know, try to keep your skin clean. That a little light get to it before the wintertime comes, because I won't cut it that much when the wintertime comes. So, you know, just go and get back into this. Once again, I said this is pretty much friendships between parents that co-parent that are not together, or have had a bad breakup, or, you know, just things didn't end well and you guys have kids together and being cordial with each other. Thank you, Tabitha. Thank you. You know? So this is easy for me. Is it possible? Absolutely. Of course it's possible. But for me, it just depends on how mature the people are. And it's just like, if you had a really, really bad breakup, the chances of y'all being cordial in that first 10 years is damn near impossible. Because, like I said, it just depends on the growth of the person. So it's like, I got two different situations. So I have two children. They're by two different women. So my daughter's mother, we more so had a relationship. We had life plans, and, you know, we actually planned my daughter, and we lived together, and we were engaged, and all of those things. So it's a little bit different with that situation, because once we broke up, it was things that I did that caused her to really, really dislike me. So the first couple years of breaking up were kind of tough, because we were used to being with each other. We were used to being able to confide in each other when it came to our child. But as it got older, this is my opinion, she got a lot more bitter. It's just like, I don't know why it was. I don't know. Maybe because I diminished her thought of her family with her child. I don't know. But it got bitter as it went on. So it's like, it was more so, I remember for years, I wouldn't even see her. I would always pick up my child from her mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how bad it was from her side. And it was just like she felt a certain way, so everything that came to my child, she made it difficult. Now, she wasn't a ratchet or hood rat, so I didn't deal with like ratchet things, but I did deal with like, well, you gotta come and get her. I ain't dropping her off. You know what I'm saying? Like I always had to go get her, or she need this, she need $10. You ain't give me 10. Well, you a bad dad because you didn't give me $20. Like I dealt with those kind of things because she was still upset. And it's like that went on, and it still kind of goes on now, you know, but I'm a lot older. She's a lot older. I kind of just, you know, just dismiss it. Like, I don't really even, you know, I don't let it get to me like I used to. Like, she might say something like the other day, prime example, school supplies. Now, something that's normally cordial, right? Now, my daughter needed some school supplies. Not that I couldn't get the supplies. I always buy supplies every year. And when she had uniforms, I used to buy her uniforms and this, that, and the other. So her mom sent me the list. I already know what it is. Hey, this. But at that moment, I couldn't get the supplies. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had some things going. Wasn't a lot. I said, well, you know, hey, go and get the supplies, and I'll just reimburse you the money. So I guess that kind of made her feel a certain way. So instead of just being cordial and just getting the supplies, she had to make a small reply and go, oh, I just wanted to see if you was going to get them. Somebody else had already bought them. So my reply, being me now, I said, damn, that's kind of childish. If somebody had already bought them and you asked me to buy them, that's just so childish. And she texted back, okay. But I knew she was going to get the supplies and I was going to pay her back. I mean, we've done it before because we cordial, but she had to do that, which nobody got them because I buy them every year. So it's just like, I get it, but that little simple thing, we might have been cordial a little bit, but just based on how she feels about me, I had to get that little, she had to get that little piece in. And it's like, if your, this is my opinion, if your purpose for your child is to raise your child the best way, having a father and a mother on one accord, then you will find some way to get past the dislike you have for that person, for whatever reason it is. Because ultimately, if it's about the child, it's about the child. It's like, even if you have to treat me nice and it just makes your blood boil, you gonna do it for your child. It's like, now, the different story. My son's mother, I'm not very fond of her, like, at all. Like, not at all. Like, not even a little bit. So it's just like, it's a different exchange. If she asks me for something, it more so infuriates me because I know her backstory. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I won't say her business, but it just infuriates me more because the relationship between me and her, in my eyes, has always been negative. It's always been an issue. It's always been a problem. It's always been mess. It's always been ratchetness. It's always been, you know, we supposed to be thinking about my son and you thinking about something else. So for me, it's going to be two different reactions. Now, as I'm older, I realize that, hey, I got to be the bigger person and maybe not respond like I would have 2 years ago. And that's hard. But, you know, trying to co-parent, you got to do what's best for the kid. So it's like, I deal with issues with him, with her, that get to me. But to cause as less confusion as I can for him, I'm not as tough on things as I should be. And it's just like, just to keep cordial or keep peace, because ultimately what you do, what you two parents do, that child is going to see some kind of way. He's going to hear it, he's going to see it, either he's going to see it in the way you act, she acts, Either she's gonna say something derogatory about you, either he's gonna say something derogatory about her in front of that child, not knowing it because you're upset or you angry, and it's just like ultimately it affects the child. Now, 2 years ago, I'll be honest, I wasn't thinking like that. I was just like, you mother, good God, you terrible, this, that, and I realized that it wasn't making the environment for my child better. Because I would be angry when I go get him and her because whatever happened. And it's just like, it's not allowing me to be a good father with him because I'm mad at his mom. And he might not be able to understand what's going on or what it is, but he see that. You know, he can pick up on that, like, or if she's saying something about me, he hear that. Well, your dad ain't spit. And this, that, and he didn't buy you nothing. And it could have been the total opposite. I didn't buy what you felt like you wanted for him. But you say that in front of my child, and my child, he see his mother, he see his father. So he gonna take pretty much what they say on strength. Like, well, mama said, well, daddy said, well, you know what I'm saying? Like, and it's just like, you gotta get to a point to where when you got kids, well, it's like this. When you have kids, it's no longer about you. It's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be strictly for those kids. And I can be honest. When I first had kids, I didn't have that mindset. I didn't. I mean, I was far from that when I had a daughter. Now, what is crazy about it, even though I didn't have that mindset, we lived together. So it's like I did those things, but my mind wasn't there. Like it wasn't all. It really it's a trip because it's like I paid rent, had us a place, and this and that, and we lived together. But my mindset wasn't really there 100%. Like it was more so I'm doing it because I got to, or not because she was forcing me to do it, but I feel like, okay, this is my child. I need to do this, opposed to it being something that I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I really, really, really wanted to do that. I really, really wanted to. I wasn't there yet. So as I got older, we had a lot of back and forth between each other because I still loved her and she hated me. And for years, we had this ongoing battle. And it was like, the child was being affected. So the child spent more of the time with the grandparents, her parents, or my parents. Because it was like we was still going back and forth with each other opposed to dealing with the needs of the child. Now, we deal with the needs in the way of monetary and shoes and clothes and stuff like that. But as you get older, you see the things that really matter is what you work on as you get older and you understand. And it's like, parents that understand what a child needs opposed to being bitter at another parent, then it changes your outlook on how to deal with things when it comes to, okay, now, I don't really like him. I don't really like him at all, but I want my daughter or my son to see peace, or we can be peaceful when we're together. You know what I'm saying? Like, when mama see dad, it ain't always bad looks and arguing, and when you ain't this and you just got that right, and it, like, that's not how it should be. And it's tough because we emotional people. So it's just like, if that's how you are until you change that, that's what you're gonna project on your children. And it's like, we wonder why children do certain things that they do. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get to these comments, y'all, but this thing is not popping them up. I can't see them. Let me see. See what I got here. All right. There I go. All right, okay. Let's see what we got here. Women get bitter quick and get a new woman, and bam! Yep, that's right. And it's just like, if you still attached to that person, or you still mad or upset with that person, then it's gonna show. And it's like, it does make it seem like men and women can be cordial, because a lot of people are still stuck on the emotional part, and they don't realize that they actually brought a life in the world that they're responsible for. They see it, and yeah, they in the house and this and that, but they still more focused on either making that man suffer, or that man still stuck on her and he don't want her to be with nobody else, so he want to make her suffer by not doing for his child. Well, if you give me some loving, I'll come and get him anytime you want. And it's just like, we do this back and forth thing, not just women, but men do it too. Or go mess with 2 or 3 women and knowing that she still have feelings for you, just so y'all can play games. And guess what? Guess where the baby at? With the grandparent. While y'all going back and forth about you hurting him and him hurting you and the child suffering. So at the end of the day, yeah, it's like, can it happen? Yeah. But you have to move on from a mental standpoint before you try to be co-parents in a positive aspect. Because if you think terrible of this person, there's no way you're going to be able to co-parent them. You got to see them for who they are as a person, but separate them from being the father or the mother. Like, I'm not very, like I said, I'm not very fond of my son's mother. But I have to treat things like I am. Like, I don't like certain things that she does or lack thereof. But I can't keep pushing that on her or saying that to her. Even though she needs to hear it, I still have to conduct myself a certain way. Well, hey, maybe you should work on that. Or hey, can I help you work on that? And it's like, with her, it's hard because she associate everything that I do from a nice perspective is we can get down to something other than Christian. And it's like, no. Like, 2 weeks ago, she sent me a text message asking for sex. Like, bruh, I ain't had sex with you in 6 years. Like, then that frustrates me because I'm like, I'm trying to be cordial, but you're not thinking of the child. Because you can't be. Like, if you're thinking of that, you can't be thinking about our child. There's no way in the world you could think that I would even remotely want to have something sexual with you. I don't talk about anything sexual with you. I barely talk to you, period. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's short and sweet when it's about Christian. Like, short and sweet. That's it. And it's just like, how can you be cordial with a person like that? And it's like, I've tried. I've tried. I feel like I've tried my hardest to just be sensitive, be understanding, and like, but it's like every time I do that, it's taken in another direction. And it's like, I have to be the parent for both of us. Am I the best parent? Hell no. Like, I'm far from the best parent. I'm far from a great parent. But at the same time, my mindset is on the things of being a better parent. Like, I realize that, hey, these are the areas that I need to get better in. And you can help me and I can help you. But if your focus is not constantly on the child, we're not going to be able to see a common ground anywhere. Now, that daughter's mother, she has her moments where she's like that, where everything has to be something smart said when it's just basic stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, you don't have to do all of that. Like, we started dating at 24. Like, we 35, 36 years old. Like, you still doing this stuff? Like, you still have animosity toward, like, huh? Like, who does that? It's been 11 years. Almost 12. Like, when are we as men and women gonna get past a point, especially when you have children, When will you ever get to that point to where you realize it's not about your emotions and how you feel? Now, I said this. Let me go into these real quick. Got to go the extra mile to appease a woman. Absolutely. That's not a good relationship if you have to appease the person. Well, that's mostly every relationship, Tabitha. I mean, you're going to be appeasing somebody. I mean, that's just relationships. I mean, know this. In my opinion, no matter what relationship you have, I always feel like one of the other is going to have more happiness than the other. That's just how I feel. I feel like a woman is going to benefit more or have more happiness than that man, because a man has to sacrifice some things for that woman to be happy. And most of the time it's you sacrificing of yourself. And it's just like, is that true for all cases? I don't know. But in my opinion, I feel like this with the children, I might have 10 right points, but I have to suppress that to make a good example for my children. Like, I was talking to someone on Facebook. We was just going back and forth, and the young lady was saying that, you know, her father, the children's father, doesn't help, and he doesn't really do much, and the money that she gets, she doesn't really see it as much. And I made a comment, and I was just like, well, not towards her, but just a comment in general. And I was like, well, you know, I don't get to ask for money or food or clothes or nothing like that when my children are with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it made it sound harsh, but I might not have the leeway that you do as a mother, as a father. So it's like everybody has their point that they can make out of any situation. I can make a point to make me look good. I can make a point to make you look bad. We all can do that. But at the same time, when it comes to children, it's just like you got to do what's best for them. And sometimes it means that you might not be as cordial. Because I had to get to the point to where, with my daughter's mother, I let her get away with things so many years because of things that I had done wrong. So I felt bad. So I had to get past that point in order to be the parent that I needed to be. You telling me on days, I'm like, hey, what's she doing? This is before she had a phone. What's she doing? Why? Huh? I would let her get away with stuff like that because I felt bad for things that I had done to her or whatever. I felt bad, and I'm dumbing myself down not to be the parent because I'm like, I just want to keep this. But then I got to the point to where a couple years ago, I was like, man, I didn't apologize for everything that I've done genuinely, and I done moved on from that. Nah, what you mean? Why? Nah, you need to be telling me what's going on with my child. You know what I'm saying? Like, where is my child? You know what I'm saying? Like, these things, like, at one point in time, she didn't want me to come to her home. Like I said, I used to always pick her up from my grandmother's house. But I got to the point to where I can't blame her, but I can blame me for being a less of a parent at the time that I felt bad, that I wouldn't even ask certain questions. I wouldn't even ask certain things because I feel like I don't deserve to ask that. I don't deserve to be able to do this. And I was like, nah, I'm her father. Like, I always, and then when I got that, she had to start to respect it. Even if she didn't tell me she respected it, she had to respect it because I started stepping into being an actual father. Like, you telling me, well, you don't need to know that. What you mean I don't need to know that? That's my daughter. That's my child. And at some point in time, I had felt like I didn't have any rights as a parent. And I would talk to my dad all the time and this, that. And then I finally just got it. I'm like, no matter what I've done wrong in the past, this is my right. I don't need a court for this is my right. So when I started expressing those things just started to change. Now, They will become a little more cordial, absolutely. But I lessen the time I speak to any one of them unless it's about the children, because I know how the daughter's mother is and I know how the son's mother is. So it's like I can't give ammunition for either or. So for me to be cordial might be different. Your situation, mine would be limit communication only for the child. I'm not overly speaking or nothing like that. If I want to go by and see her, she lives like 2 seconds from me. Of course, I'll be cordial. Hey, y'all at the house? Yeah, I'm at the house. Hey, I want to come see Naya, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. She's cordial now in that point. And then being cordial also means, and I'm man enough to admit this, is making sure that you're doing your duties as a parent. Like you can't be like, it's kind of contradictory to what I just said, but it's not. You can't be expressing that you want to be a father when you're not attempting or doing the things that fathers do. So if I'm not going to get her as much as I used to, I can't be saying, well, I need to know. Yeah, you have the right to know where she is, but maybe if you went and got her, you would know where she is. You know what I'm saying? Or if you went and got him, you would know where he is. You know what I'm saying? If you came around more, you would know what's going on with it. So it's just like, as you get older and you mature as a person, women are like this. They have to see action. Now, will it be the action that they want? Not all the time, because you are never going to please a woman fully when it comes to anything. It's just like, because that's just how I see it. But what you can do is show effort consistently. And it's like, if you show that, even if they don't want to show you respect, they're going to have to, because it's going to be what's demanded. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be a natural thing for her. Especially if you can deal with her without angering her or causing issues. This is just going to change her. Period. It's going to change the situation with your children. Now, some people are just ratchet. Some men are just ratchet. Some women are just ratchet. Some men haven't grown up. Some women haven't grown up. You're going to always have those situations where stuff like that happens. But for the most time, if you got people that have grown up a little bit, if you're taking care of your part and you doing your part, yeah, they might give you a little bit of this and that, but they going to respect what you do, because guess what? Ultimately, it's going to be for the child. And don't get me wrong, and I never told anybody this. This is how I feel. I think a lot of women care about their children. They're emotional, so emotions do affect their decisions sometimes. But I really do think women, for the most part, really do care about their children. I think they have a funny way of showing it and going about it because it's dictated by their emotions when it comes to certain things. But most women are hustlers for their children. They'll go out and do some wild things to make sure their child had. Not saying that to be judgmental, but the mindset of them saying, well, I gotta produce for these children or my child, so I just gotta do what I gotta do. Now, same for some men. Like, men have that mindset when they're younger, but as they get older, they think about not only providing, but being around. So I won't be as keen to go do something stupid to provide. As I get older, I'm going to be more of a, okay, how can I transition this into something else? You know what I'm saying? Like, women are transitioning to other things, and it's like, hey, let me find a man that is established, that can love me and my kids, and now my kids are straight. And then I can learn to love the man. That's how women turn things. Okay, I didn't have a dad. I don't really know what a good man means, but I know one when I see one. Let me get one so I'll be taken care of for the rest of my life. And they said, well, I'll catch up to the other parts later. That's how women do. That's how men do. But men more so is like, okay, what can I do to transition to where I can stay around, where I can have more time? Because as you get older, time means more when you have children. Time means more with everything. It's just like, even now, as we think about like 30, 35, 40, it's like the things that we do, we like, man, we want our children to be able to do this. We want our children to be able to do that. And it's like, even now, I be thinking like, man, I need to do better because my daughter going to be wanting a car. And I don't want her grandparents to have to do that and this and that. I want to be able, as the father, for her to say, I'm in college, Pop, I need $200. Send me $200. That'll be my new experience for my child. That's the feeling of a parent. And to have not only one parent like that, but two, oh man, that child is in good standings. Because ultimately you're going to do what's best. And it's like, that's why I don't understand the child support thing when it comes to being cordial and being able to say nice things or being able to have a good relationship with either parent. Is that if you have a lifestyle that you want for your child and it's two parents, those two parents should come together and discuss that lifestyle and meet on a number. Say, okay, this is what I want for the child. Well, I want them to have this kind of clothes. Well, I want them to have this kind of schooling. I want them to, if they want to play this sport or be in this thing or be in that thing. And it's like coming together. You might spend $1,000, but it'll be more so of y'all together planning and putting this together. Opposed to saying, well, I want this child to do this. The dad needs to just pay $1,000 of child support, and then that'll do what I need to do. No, that's not co-parenting. That's not parenting. Like, that's just saying, well, I need some money because these are the dreams that I have for the child. No, you need to share those dreams with either or. If the dad has custody, you need to share those dreams with the mother. If she's not detrimental to the child, and vice versa. If he's not detrimental to the child, she needs to share those things together. And this is the cordial part of being able to do this for your child. And it's like, if you still in love or you still hung on things with that parent, then you're not going to be able to say good things about that parent. You're not going to be able to say, because your emotions is in it. But once you get past those things, parenting is easy because you got each other to lean on. And nowadays, shoot, grandparents just like back then. You got younger grandparents, they don't mind having these kids around and stuff. So you really, honestly, if you co-parenting well and they got parents, and you got parents and the other parent has parents, parenting is really easy when you're working together. Only when it's one working by themselves or two people are still stuck emotionally is when it becomes hard. The concept of raising a child is simple. You're gonna have, the man's gonna have a bond with that child. That woman's gonna have a bond with that child. Everything that child needs, they have it. And then what you don't know that you're learning as it goes, your parents know. So it's just like the concept of being a parent and being cordial and being what the child needs is easy. Only if you're on one accord. But if you're not, it's going to be the toughest thing that you can, because it's like, if you're battling it with emotions opposed to the need of the child, you're never going to win. Neither side's going to win, because each side's going to be fighting, opposed to saying, what we're doing is for the betterment of the child. But until you get that under control, you're never going to change. Let's see what this says. No, it's not. But a woman will use a child against you. Absolutely. And a man will use things against a woman too. People be focused on what was instead of being focused on the kids. Absolutely. I never use my children against their father. If they don't see him, it's because he ain't doing what he's supposed to do as a father. Absolutely. And you should never block. Like I said, unless one of those parents are being detrimental to the child, you should never block the opportunity for either one of those parents to see their child. Whether you hate them, whether you dislike them, Long as the situation that the other parent is providing isn't detrimental to that child, you should never block the opportunity for that father or that mother to see those children. Having kids with someone doesn't mean you have guaranteed sex when you want it. I hate when men and women do that. Yeah, I don't know. She's just crazy because, like I said, I ain't just 6 years. I ain't even remotely, not even an inkling. And it was just like, but it shows me in your mind that your focus isn't on the child. Like, even if you had that desire, our child has issues that need to be worked out. How in the world can you think about anything other than the issues that our child has? You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't if my daughter need a prosthetic leg, would I go ask her mom, well, it's hard on us. Ooh, can we just get together for one night and hang out and just be us? Like, how could I even be thinking about anything other than what the child needs? Like, that infuriates me, and that keeps me sometimes from being cordial, because I'm like, huh? Like, how are you thinking about anything else but the betterment of the child? You haven't worked in 4 years. How is that bettering yourself or your child? Like, do you expect me to just take the whole load? If that's the case, just give me the child. If you know that you can't produce anything besides who you're living with produces and what I produce in child support, then that's not a good situation for the child. Like, and that's not me just saying that because I want my son. That's just being logical. If you're talking about what's best for the child, I don't think that would be good for the child, whether that was a man in that situation or a woman in that situation. Not really. I do not pacify my husband or his feelings. There are a difference. Compromise and appease are not the same. Okay. Appeasement is very one-sided, whereas compromise requires both sides. But does it really? Because compromise doesn't include both sides. Because compromising, that means someone has to compromise. I might compromise and you might not have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I don't want a man and one. I don't feel like having sex tonight. And I say, well, okay, I understand. She didn't have to change anything. I did. Because I'm respecting her not wanting to do that. Or I say, hey, stop telling my business to your friends. I might say, well, I'm a woman. I talk to my friends. You talk to your friends. And I might say, all right, cool. I compromised to her. She didn't. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think compromise is both parties. I think one party being the bigger person in the situation, hence compromise. Well, I don't feel like doing it. All right, cool. I'll hold off today. Like, that's what I see compromise is. Someone only makes you suffer, and they're still not happy either way. Appeasing someone is an unhealthy habit to start with anyone. Children pick up on it too. Exactly. Here you go. Tabitha, I'm just saying, like, and it shows with the children all the time. It's like, that's why, like, I remember when I was a kid, I never saw my parents disagree in front of us, me and my sister. Even if they disagreed with each other, we never seen it. They would do that behind the scenes. Why? Because they knew if we seen it, we could play them against each other. Because one would be in favor of this one, the other one would be in favor of this one, or they'd be in favor of that. And it's like, it's the same thing. So as parents, you got to be on one accord. Whether you dislike each other, whether you hate each other, whatever, you got to be on one accord in front of these children. Because children are 3 times as smart at a younger age than we were at 12, 13, 14. They like super duper smart, understand concepts of everything. And it's just like, you have to be careful because they'll play you against each other, especially if y'all already got bad blood between each other. Oh, they gonna use that up. Let's see what Monica says. There are differences in households. I teach my children something totally different. My girls are going to stay their age in the mind. I don't allow them to be grown or say grown things, but with their dad and his mate, what I teach them is out the window. So you kind of deal with the same thing that I deal with my son's mother. And she says, well, you want him to eat healthy? Well, buy him healthy food in this house. Mother lover, it's 5 grown people living in your house. You think I'm finna go buy some $100 and something worth of groceries to put in the house that he's supposed to eat healthy and y'all all in the house? No, that's your responsibility in your household. I don't ask you to buy him healthy food when you with me. I buy the food. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't. It's like instilling things, and if they don't instill the things, it doesn't do any good. Well, I won't say it won't do. I'm gonna say this. It'll take more of an effort and a push from me in lesser time that I have with him to make a difference if the other parent is not online with the same things. If I say, hey, don't let him sit up and eat all day, and you don't want to hear him cry, complain, so you just give him whatever he wants. You can't do that. You have to stick to a rule. You have to be the authoritative figure in him. I say, he's me. I know him. Like my daughter, I know her. And I'm trying to help mold these things are the things that you don't know about him. He's manipulating you. Well, I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do this, and I don't want to do that. And then she just, boom, let him go. What's up, Charlene? She just let him go. And then guess what? Before you know it, he got his way. And then it was at a point of time, he didn't want to come with me. Because when he came over here, he know business. It's business with that. Now, that don't mean I'm going to be mean to him. It means that I got rules over here. And we follow rules over here. Same for my daughter. Now, she's a little bit older. I have to use my mind a little bit more with her because, like I said, she's super duper smart. And I have to go back and think like, okay, oh, she didn't get me. And then I go back in there and get her straight. You know, but he knows his guidelines and rules. She knows his guidelines and rules. So they are skeptical about how they come and how long they come because they know dad has rules. Now, once they get here and they get the rules and they comfortable in, dad ain't going to bother you as long as you obey the rules. Don't lay in the bed all day and then you get up and eat and tell me you then call my name and say, Dad, I'm finished. Why you telling me you need to get up there and take your stuff in the kitchen and throw it in the trash? Like, don't call me. Like, he'll call, Dad, I'm finished. Yeah, go put your plate in the sink. If it's a plate, if it's a plastic plate, throw it in the trash. Go wash your hands. Come back, sit down. What you doing? What you telling me for? Like, rules and guidelines on simple things. Kids know. And parents not on one accord. They know that. Well, when I go over mom's house, oh, I'm straight. When I go over dad's house, oh, he lenient. He don't really like to do it. He don't know rules. Like, kids know that. That's why it's important for us to be on one page. All right, we got some comments in there. I tell him the rules I have in place, and it means nothing. So, let's see. One that I can say, and I never heard my mother say, God rest her soul, ever badmouth my dad, and he was never there for me. She asked if I wanted to see she was fine, and I didn't see him. Some folks today love bashing each other in front of the kids, which is so wrong and disrespectful. Plus, it's not good for the kids to hear it. Absolutely. Now, as much as I dislike the things that she does, or some things even with my daughter's mother, and this is not me bash, this is just from my viewpoint saying that everything that parents do, the other parent's not going to always like. Even if it's not something that's just catastrophic. It's just, you're not going to always agree on everything. But one thing that I pride myself on, I never badmouth either one of their parents, either one of their mothers in front of them. And I rarely do it, but I ain't gonna lie, I do it. I have done it more with my son's mother about how she ain't this and how she ain't that and how I feel. I don't really do that with my daughter because, like I said, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't really see each other, communicate unless I go by there to see my daughter. Other than that, but I don't badmouth either one of their mothers because ultimately, at the end of the day, they're their mothers. I want you to think positive things of your mother. I want you to have a positive outlook on your mother. Now, as you get older, you will draw your own conclusion of who your mother is. You'll draw your own conclusion of who your father is. And it's like with my children, they could never turn my children against me because they're me. Like, they don't see it, but they are little me's. So even if they tried their hardest, there's nothing that they could do to turn my children against me because they're me. They think like me. They feel like me. They express themselves like me. It's so funny when you look at your children, how much of you they have. Now, they have their own specific personality for themselves. But when you look at them, you're like, man, that's me. Like, so when they have this kind of connection, you'll never be able to turn them against me. And I would hope that neither one of their mothers would be doing that or saying things to make them think less of me because that's never going to happen. And that has nothing to do with me personally being a good dad. That's just how they personally see me, period. Or how they are as a kid. They resonate with me on a lot more things than they do with their mothers. And it's just how it is. When my daughter was little, all she wanted to do was hang around her dad. Like, she was always with me. When we lived together, when we didn't live together, when I lived with my parents, she was always with me. That's why I have a gajillion pictures of her. I was just laying down doing videos, and because she just connected with me more. It's just how it is. Now she have her days now where she want to hang with grandmama, she want to hang with my mama. Like, I'll get her and she won't even want to hang with me for 2 days. She might want to hang with my mom for 2 days, hang with my niece for 2 days, and then the last 2 days she want to hang with me. That's her right. That's her personality now. So, we kind of understand it. Me and her mom say, she texts me and says she trying to stay extra week. You cool with that? Yeah, she be cool with that. All right, bet, all right, boom, done. Like, that's how it should be. Now that other one, you do have to watch kids. They will play parents against each other. You better believe it. So yeah, I never say anything bad about their mothers in front of them. And I'm just not that type of person anyway. I feel like if I got something to say, I'm gonna say it to you. Like, I'm not gonna say that to my children because ultimately I'm not even thinking about their mothers when I'm with my children. Like, I'm not like, okay, I remember your mama did this before I came to you and your mama ain't. Like, once I get them, I'm in strictly dad mode. Like, I try not to do anything when I have them. I try not to go hang out with friends and stuff. It has happened where I take them by to see my friends or my parents or something like that. But when I'm with them, I try to make it about them, to enjoy dad, for them to get to know dad. But it's kind of hard because sometimes you have to force them into doing other things because in this age, they so used to just getting on all of the gadgets. Getting on the computer, getting on the laptop, watching cartoons, playing Roblox and all of it. So you have to kind of break them a little bit and do other things. Which they will do other things, but you have to break them for that. Because they could honestly sit in one spot for 12 hours and do the same exact thing for the whole 12 hours. They could. My daughter was with me for those 2 weeks. She stayed in her room for, I know, 8-9 hours on my laptop, on her phone, on her tablet, eating and watching this stuff. So, it happens. But with parents, man, y'all gotta make sure that, you get out of your emotions with that. When you had children, it's no longer about you. Get to a common ground with each other. And if you can't get to that common ground, get to the common ground with yourself. Let go of the things that plagued you to be upset with them or mad or feel a certain way about them, so you can be a better parent. And sometimes we had this ego like, I'm a great parent, but you can always do better. You can always be better. You can always exude better things around them. Like, if your attitude is always mad because you got to work 3 jobs because the dad ain't doing nothing, guess what? Them kids pick up on it. if you mad at the mama because she make you pay $1,500 in child support and you always upset and you mad, guess what? That child gonna see that. That child gonna pick up on that, and it's gonna feel the anguish that you have towards his mom. You gotta let that stuff go. You know what I'm saying? For you to be the parent that you need to be, and first of all, be a better person for yourself, so you can be a better parent. Like, you gotta work on yourself before you talk about being cordial with somebody else. If everything that you say is what the other parent ain't doing and what they doing wrong and what they this and what they ain't doing and what that and that, you need to check yourself and work on yourself first. If that other parent's not doing, then find ways to better yourself so you can do better, so you won't have to ask. Now, of course, parents should co-parent. Men should be there for their children. But we know that that's not always true in society. For black, white, whatever. Guess what? Men know sometimes that women are not going to step up to the plate and be good mothers. And vice versa. So you can't, like, I could have kept complaining about, man, I pay this amount of money for child support. Instead of just going and trying to better myself and do better and make more money, work overtime, I finally got over it and was like, I just got to make the money up. Like, for years, man, I ain't got no money, man. Man, I can't stand no more. They're going to put me on child. But how was I ever going to be better for my child? I just got over it. I just was like, man, hey, I ain't even really caring about the child support now. Hey, come out every 2 weeks. Hey, it's coming out no matter what. Let me just make the money up. And then I became a better person. I stopped being grudgeful. I stopped being angry and upset. Well, I ain't going to go get them because of this and that. Like, I'm missing time in building a bond with them. I chose to have children unprotected and have children, and it worked out where the court happened. I got to get over that. I had to be like, man, I got to fix myself and just make the money up and be the best parent I can. Like, so many men are afraid of child support that they'll run from their children for years. Like, I love them. But you say you love them, but you don't want to spend no time with them? You don't want to see them at all? You don't want to see them at all. Like, not even a day or two. And some men, they so afraid of child support and supporting financially. And I was one of those guys. Like, for a year or two, I was like, man, I ain't gonna go do this. Well, here go $100. I give you $100, $110 every now and then, here and there. And then she was like, I think the first, almost a year and a half after me and her broke up, she put me on child support because what I had promised to her, I wasn't doing. I promised her, I think it was $400 a month. At that time, I wasn't making a whole lot of money, but I promised her $400. I would end up showing up with $250, $220, $212, $210, and it started getting low. $150. I ain't got but $160 this week. And she was like, all right, cool. And she went and put me on child support. And I was upset for a minute, but then I thought about it. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. I didn't stand by my word. So she went and got. Now, did she get a whole lot more? Actually, she got less. But she knew it was going to be consistent. If he working, it's going to come out. It's going to come out. So I know it's guaranteed. Whether it's less or not, at least I know I got this. If he working, I'm going to get this no matter what. And that's what she had to do. And then I had to realize, man, you got to just grow up. You got to become a man. You can't keep harping on this and expect her to think good of you, and you're not doing the things that you know that you need to do. So after so much time went by, I realized I'm not doing my responsibilities. I'm not being consistent in what I need to do. And when I got better and consistent in more things, more respect came, a little more cordial here or there. Yeah, we still had our times, but a little more, structure, a little more respect. And it's just like, if women expect men to respect, you gotta be on your game to the point. If you only give them $400, right? Make the best of that $400. If you gotta make a food plan for your children and say, we can't just eat, well, I'ma just do whatever my children, we just gonna eat, and whatever they want. Sometimes you can't be that way. Sometimes you have to manage what you have until you get more. Guess what? I don't have a lot of money extra to do this now, but I manage what I need for them, and I do on what I have. I might not get to go out as much as I would like to. I might not get to go buy brand new clothes all the time or brand new shoes. I don't. But I make sure I maintain what I have because it benefits them. Does that mean that I do with less? Yeah, I do with less a lot of times. And thank God that I'm a basic plain guy. If I had expensive taste, then I probably would be selling drugs. But I don't. So in that situation, sometimes you just have to say, okay, this is what I got. Right now, I'm not getting anything more. I know that he or she is not doing what they're supposed to do, but this is what I got. Let me do the best of what I got and don't complain about what I'm not getting. And guess what? I promise you to change your mind on how you see everything, because you won't be depending on what you don't have. You'll be making the best of what you do. And people say, well, I am making the best. If you complain about what you're not getting, somewhere in that picture, you're trying to make up for what one of those parents not doing. Well, I'm going to buy them a little extra here because they daddy don't do, or they mama don't do. I'm going to just give them a little more here. I'm going to give them a little more there. And I'm going to do, and before you know it, you trying to fund this lifestyle to make up for what one parent's not doing, and that's not going to work. That's going to always put you behind. And God does step in, but sometimes it's like, if you know you got $1,000 after bills, you got to plan that $1,000 to the point. When this pandemic hit, man, I was in trouble. Man, I didn't have no money. They were talking taking 2 days a week from us. I ain't had no money. But I managed until I found a way to get what I needed to pay and pay it up and this, that, and the other. And then I did that, and it worked for me until I got on my feet. And I found stability in it. So let's see. I see some comments down here. I feel bad for the men who are good dads and these hood boogers. Hood boogers keep them away from their children for no reason. That's true. It happens. Miss TRT, that's a great dance out here, and women take them through pure hell. That's why now these grandparents' laws now to see the kids. That's what I'm saying, man. This is crazy. But men, you gotta make sure that you're doing what you're supposed to do before you try to go put some demands for your child. Now, you do have rights. You do have rights. Matter of fact, men, we got more rights than we think. Men just so scared of being financially responsible that they don't even go look at the rights that they have. You got plenty of rights, as if you want them. I dated a guy once, and every time me and him were together, his baby mama always wanted to come over. And one time she showed up and left the kid outside on movie night. I wanted to kick her in her crotch. I couldn't take anymore. So my question is, when does a narcissistic realize they're not doing right by the children? Malika, you gotta stop worrying about what he's not doing. Because guess what? It affects how you do and think about things. You might say it doesn't, but it does, because your focus is on what he's not doing. Stop focusing on what he's not doing. Pray, give it to God, like I told you. Take the amount that you feel like is sufficient for you when you go to court. Say, hey, these are the things that I have. These are the necessities that need to be met. I need more money. They don't give you more money, then you find ways to better yourself and to do better for them, to make more money. You might not have enough time, you can always find a way. God can always make a way for you to better yourself so you can do better. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop praying that I just hope he get it. Pray, hey, God, help him be the father he needs to be. That's your prayer should be. And the next prayer should be, give me what I need to make sure that they have their necessity. And stop worrying about what he not doing. If you keep worrying about that, it ain't going to change him. It's just going to stress you out, and your kids going to see that. I ain't stressed, and I ain't... Yeah, you stressed. You stressed. And it bothers you because of what he's not doing. But if you stay focused on what he's not doing, you could be focusing on, hey, I know he's not doing. If it don't change, it don't change. And trust me, it'll change quicker with you saying, all right, you don't want to do for him? Okay. It'll change quicker with you just saying that, opposed to you saying, you don't do anything. I need your help. And I this, and I that, and I this. Once he see that you left it alone, then God can deal with him. It'll start to deal. Hey, where you getting the money from? Oh, we make do. Oh, what you gotta do? What you got another job? No, just we make do. You know, I just make do with what I got. We'll find a way. And it's just like, that'll deal with a person quicker than you trying to make them or keep telling them. That's not doing anything but making you upset and making you a certain way when it comes to him. Stop. I mean, it's not going to help it. Has it made him do more? Is it going to make him do more? Nope. Know this about a man when it comes to anything. You're not going to change a man. He's going to either change for you because he wants to, or something just drastically happens. And that goes for any person, not just a man. You can only do what you can control. Do what you can control. And God will take care of the rest. Your focus on there, what he's not doing, don't worry about that. That's going to be his loss in the end. Guess what? He going to see. He going to get it right. He will. But not what you saying, what you don't do. And well, I need this and that. Don't. My mama say this thing. Don't let people see you sweat. Don't let people see you sweat. Don't let them know that they get to you. If you had to go cry in your bedroom with nobody around, do that. Cry to God. But don't let nobody see that they bother you. Because guess what? They're going to keep doing it. They're going to keep doing it. You like, well, just think about our children. They're going to keep doing it. I said to my son, when are you going to get it? But when I started just saying, okay, I'm just do what I got to do, things got better. It's just how it is. Hey, I'm focusing on what I need to do. And the remote right there, man, if you want to. So, just, don't worry about that. It'll fix itself, trust me. A narcissistic girl, they're so out of tune with the reality of God. If God told them they were doing wrong, they wouldn't believe it. I know I just want my baby dad to do better and right by his kids. You're right. I've been praying hard. Exactly. No, thank you. I mean, just keep focusing on what you can control, and things will get better. And start to really look into better ways to better yourself. You know, think about this. Say it gets extremely hard in the next 2 years while going to school or own business or starting up this and starting that. And then think 3 years after that, how far along you'll be, that the time that you struggled, you won't even remember those times in that light. Because you took the time out to say, I just gonna do better. And then whatever he does extra is a plus. And should we have to think like that? No, shouldn't have to. You should just be able to look to him. But we know this ain't a perfect world. People aren't perfect. So most of the time when to that topic, get yourself right emotionally when it comes to those parents, and then you can co-parent in a beautiful fashion. But if emotions are still in it, you won't be able to. You won't be able to be the co-parent that you need and ultimately have joy together in producing what that child needs. Watching your child have what they need and the necessities, it's going to be a great feeling. And one other thing, now this is just me saying this, me personally. Women, stop building this fantasy, and this not for Malika, this is just me. Stop building this fantasy and want the fathers to fund it. Like, think of necessities. The father's responsible for necessities. The mother is responsible for necessities. Then you guys come together on other things that you want for the child. But stop having these dreams and this lavish lifestyle that you want for these kids and expect the fathers to fund it. Like, that's not what child support is for, in my opinion. You can't have this lavish thinking of, well, he got to have this and they got to have that, and I didn't get to have this, so they got to have it, and I got to have a $400 birthday party and $600 birthday. You gotta be realistic. Like, be realistic. You know what I'm saying? Like, and things will work out a little bit better too. And then you work towards more expensive things or things that you want for them. But don't have these big old giant unbelievable, unrealistic things that you want, and then you want that father to produce that. Like, that's not fair. And I'm not saying that because I'm father. I'm just saying that I see parents do that. Well, I want them to have this, and I want them to do it. And then you put this unrealistic touch on it that you want that father to say, well, you a bad father because I want to do this, and you couldn't even give me $350. You couldn't even give me, and what's this $350 for? Like, it's just like, you gotta be realistic. If you know you got a baby dad and he only make $2,000 a month, and he pay you $400 of $2,000, he got a rent like, no, it's not your concern, but you still have to think about that's the father of the child. You still want him to be intact. So when the child goes with him, they have a nice place that they can go. They can, you want them to have the same things they have at home when they go to the other parent house. So you can't just expect him paying you $400, he made $2,000. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you want him to give you an extra $300. Like, you gotta be realistic. Like, okay, let's do this. I want to have this. It takes $400 to do this. Okay, can we pull it back? Okay, can you give me $150? I put $150. We can make this work for $300. And it'll go a whole lot smoother, opposed to saying, Well, I need 400. Like, where you expect him to get? Well, you just a bad. See, I got a nigga that'll give me. And then now this issue is starting. Like, gotta be realistic with these children. Like, these lavish lifestyle that these children are living. Man, these kids living a whole hell of a lot better than when we were. Like, outside in a meal was life for us. You go outside, what? 10 hours of the day, go eat, take a bath, go to sleep, wake up and do it again. That was life. Now, they gotta have Jordan, they gotta have the fit, they gotta have the fresh cut, they gotta have the new PlayStation 5, they gotta have a phone. Like, come on, man. This is unreal. I'm sorry because, but this is unrealistic. And before you know it, now your child is a bill opposed to you just doing the necessities. Well, my child gonna have the best. And you spending $1,200, $1,300 on a child. Like, come on now. We get away from stuff because we want to see kids happy, but kids gonna be happy with the most minute thing because they kids. Right now, that kid would have more fun. Right now, in this technology age, if you take 5 kids and you put them outside and let them play with each other, in an hour, they ain't gonna even be thinking about no game. And I'm not saying that all the kids have to go out and just play, but it shows you how simple-minded the kids are when you allow them to be kids. You put them on a nice pair of shoes, you put them on a nice pair of pants, you put them on a nice pair of shirts. But if you spend $80 on a kid outfit, yeah, you probably ain't gonna have no money. $80 for an outfit, $45, $50 for a pair of shoes, for one pair. Like, come on now. Like, you gotta be realistic. Come on now. Men and women. We ain't gonna put out, bro, I'm not going to buy no Jordans for my son. He's 6. She go buy Jordans and all that. I ain't buying no Jordans. He have on some loafers, some regular tennis shoes, cause he ain't gonna do nothing but run around in them. If he go outside. Most of the time he's sitting in the house, most of that shit sitting in the closet. And he in a regular clothes and a t-shirt and some shorts. Like, it's just crazy to me. Now, I done the topic, now I'm going into a side note of all of this. Indeed, 50-50, yeah, that's facts. You knew he was broke before, and unless he gets a better job, he's going to be broke once the baby gets. Actually, he's going to be even broker. You know what I'm saying? Especially if he trying to do something, that's when, as a parent, you got to say, hey, I don't have as much money as I need. I need to better myself. I need to do something that's going to give me more money. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when you have the mindset to better yourself. Right? I'm telling you, sun up, sun down. Absolutely. We was outside from sun up to sun down. I mean, that was the day, man, what you do? Man, we played such and such, we ran, and we went over here under the ditch, and this and that, and we went to the woods, and back in the back, and all of this and all of that. That was our day. Then, you know, if one partner had a game, we would go and play the game every now and then. But most of the time, we spent our time outside. I can even remember, even at 10th and 11th and 12th grade, we still spent, you know, as we got older, we went to the movies and stuff like that. But we still spent most of our time outside. We would go in and maybe play like a board game or play a game for a little minute, listen to some music, but we still spend majority of our time out, either going like the Best Buy or this or that. We did other things, driving to Mississippi, like we weren't just tied up on, and we had phones like that. We had phones then, but we learned in a different era how to communicate and enjoy other things, and our parents didn't, You know, they bought us nice things every now and then when they could, but it wasn't their focus. Like they was focused, boy, you better go in there and be a kid. You better go outside. Well, I won't do it. They'll get you something every now and then, get your game system. But you better go outside, have some fun, get out of my face. I never had J's and I was still cool, absolutely. He was in the $25,000 to $35,000 yearly range, but once the baby gets here, and all of a sudden you expecting $100,000 a year plus finance, come on, so absolutely, and it goes for both sides. It's like women, you can't expect if you ain't making that, and he ain't making that. Now you want to do stuff that beyond both of y'all pays combined. Like that's not realistic, man. And if you look at a lot of situations, that's where a lot of the trouble come in, because they're expecting to, well, I need to do this and I need to do that. Well, another guy give me this. Well, I'm gonna go mess with this guy and my kid's gonna be taken care of by any means. And it's just like, if you just would be realistic and realize that you still can get nice things for them, but get it as they get older and they can have an appreciation for it and they can take care of it. You know what I'm saying? If you starting a kid out at 4 and he got on Jordans and he's sagging and he got on a gold necklace and he got on Gucci this and Gucci that and it's hanging off, and he 2. He can barely stand up. Dude, man, my son gonna be fresh. And ain't nothing wrong with dressing your child fresh. Don't get me wrong. But if you dressing him in all this stuff like he a 14-year-old boy and he like 4 or 5, he just gonna mimic what he see you do. He don't know what letting his pants sag and this and that. He just gonna see you doing it. So of course he gonna do it. You see them throwing up the money. He's seen his dad do that. So he gonna just mock it. No, he mimicking everything that he see. You got him on all this stuff, and then he grew up like that, and then y'all want to be like, where he get this stuff from? Where he get this stuff from? Why he want to carry a gun? Because all he seen was you carry a gun. Why he want to smoke weed and do this? And I don't want my son to be a gang. Well, stop showing him gangster stuff. Stop showing him things that he's going to mimic. And in this day and age, they run with a lot of this stuff. Stop getting mad at these young girls when they turn out and they be harlots, and that's all you didn't show them. You can't be mad, you can't be upset. But I can go in all day on this. But I appreciate that, man. I'm glad being back, man. It's a great, good little nice little show, right? It was a nice little piece of the show right here. I hope I did you guys well tonight. I was breaking myself back in, and it was good to see you guys. Hopefully we can get more people back again. If I can be more consistent, I'm going to take that advice for myself and be more consistent. Things be going on in life, and, things just be happening. But it's always a joy to come on here, man, you guys. I hope everybody's been being safe and still following the guidelines of COVID-19. We are a product of our parents, absolutely. Until we get old enough to realize that sometimes we don't want to be like our parents. And then we change. But we are a product of them until we get to the point in life to where we become our own people. That's what she says. Instead of buying J's, which is a waste of money, but the baby's an insurance policy so that they can cash it out when they turn 18. There you go, passing on wealth the easy way. Absolutely. It's just simple things like that. Appreciate it, bro. It's just simple things like that. And it's like, we complicate things as parents. Like, I have a saying that I used to say for years. Sometimes parents mess up kids before the world can even do it. And it's like, because we had this thing in our mind that we always want to one-up what we experienced. Well, I didn't get to have this. Well, I want my kid to have this. Well, I'm going to make sure they had the best clothes because I didn't have the best clothes. And it's like, there's nothing wrong with that, but it's got to have the right mindset of saying, well, maybe what does this child per se need opposed to what I want to provide for them? You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we know they need clothes, we know they need shoes, but what does this child personally need from a parent to be successful in life? Me giving them certain kind of clothes and putting value on this stuff might turn them into a person that they're not meant to be. They might become materialistic because mom and dad, that's how they showed me. Well, women like the girls like this and this, and that might be a road that they don't need to go down. Learn these children and be what these children need. Be perceptive to what each child personally needs, like that you can provide for them. Not just always gonna be nice clothes and all of this and all of that and all of that. Teach them value that, hey, take care of what you got. It don't have to be name brand. It could be a good quality pair of pants. It could be a good quality shirt. It could be a good quality pair of shoes. Take care of your things. So when you do get money to buy bigger and better things in your time, you'll know the value of it. You will have the things won't have you. And it's just like, these kids grow up thinking that they're entitled to this stuff. You ain't entitled to nothing. Don't nobody owe you jack. I owe you the necessity. Somewhere you lay your head, some lights, somewhere you take a bath, feed you, and lead you in the right direction from what I believe. That's my job. And make sure you know God. Other than that's my job. Anything else outside of that is not my obligation. My obligation is to make sure that you have the necessities as my son or my daughter to succeed in life as a young person. Your job is to go to school and get good grades if you can. But try your hardest. But that's your job. And then if you got chores, that's your job. Stop. These kids feel like they so entitled to man. These kids got $1,000 phones at 9, 8. Like, who does that? Like, we all do it, and I'm a victim of it. I ain't bad, but her mama bought it. Cause I wouldn't buy no $1,000 phone. When we talked about that. And I said, I ain't buying no $1,000 phone. I ain't buying no $800 phone. I ain't buying no $600 phone. I ain't buying no $400 phone. Not for no. At that time, she 11. Now she was 8. So I'm not paying for no phone for no 8-year-old. Now I love it that she has a phone now, but I still feel like it still was too young. You paying a note on a phone for a kid. A kid. Now, if you got a kid that's got it in sports and stuff like that, yeah, by all means, they should have a phone. But an 8-year-old? My niece had a phone at like 6. I mean, a real phone at like 6 years old. Like, negative. Like, no. Are you kidding me? And these kids, they feel like they're privileged to that. I want the new iPhone. I'm tired of this junk. What? It's $1,000 phone you got in your hand. You tired of it? And I'm gonna make sure my kid, I'm gonna work some overtime. Maybe when Black Friday comes, they make sure I get all that. Slaving for Christmas. And you spending money you could have saved or started a small business. You spent 3 racks during Christmas time. Now, do what you want with your money, but at the same time, these kids, they just, man. These parents, we as parents, we go out and spend all this money, man. We know we really ain't got it. You gonna work all this overtime and slave so they can be happy. Guess what? If you told them they wasn't getting it, they'd be happy 2 days later after not getting it. It'd be the same result. It would. Might be mad a week. And after that, he'd been forgotten. Because guess what? Somebody mama gonna buy it and they gonna go over there and play it to death. You know what I'm saying? So, by that, I'm gonna let you go, man. It's getting kind of late, man. Y'all be safe. Y'all be positive. Y'all be blessed.